Hello, I am Dr. Kim Johnson, and I heard that you're going to middle school soon. And so I want to come by and give you a little bit of information to maybe take away some of the anxiety that you may be having when it comes to the subject of going to middle school. Middle school is very different from elementary school. But guess what? We're here to support you and we're here to make sure that you're successful. So in elementary school, you're used to having two teachers. You're used to having your main fifth grade teacher and maybe a special area teacher. Well, in middle school, you may have six different teachers. You definitely will have an English language arts teacher, and then a math teacher, and then a social studies teacher, and then a science teacher. And then in middle school, we call it related arts instead of special area. So you may have two special area teachers, and that is six different teachers. So you will have to learn six different personalities. And it's okay, you'll learn it, but it is way different from elementary school. Doing NTI, middle school's on NTI 2 right now. And so you may go to school right now for 2 hours. Well, currently at our middle school, our students are going to school for 4 or 5 hours. They have two core classes. So from 8:50 to 9:45 is a core class. And then from 10:50 to 11:45 is a core class. From 9:50 to 10:45, they have virtual support, and that's where, like, say for instance, you still are confused and struggling with multiplying decimals. You can go to virtual support, and there will be your math teacher who can help you with that. We also have lunch every day from 11:45 to 12:15, and then we have advisory, and that's a class where you can come in and you can learn social skills, you can talk about your feelings, you can learn some organization and time management skills. We have that from 12:20 to 1:15. And then from 1:20 to 2:15, you have your related arts, which is the same as special area, except again, it's called related arts in middle school. In my class, I teach English and language arts. I have a website, and it's a team website, and there is a tab on there for my class. And so this is where I have my expectations. And I've picked two of my expectations to talk to you all about today. One is my Google Meet expectations. So I expect students to be prepared, which means having your materials ready, to be dressed appropriately, to stay on mute because someone could be doing school or doing work while you're doing school. And so we don't want to hear that background conversation because it can be disruptive. So I ask that you stay on mute until you get ready to talk. Also, you should participate, be respectful, and use signals. So all of these same expectations, even though we're using them in Google Meet right now, when we go back to in-person school, they will be just as important. So you have to be prepared. You have to have your notebook and your book and your pencils for whatever class it is that you're in at that time. You have to dress appropriately. You have to raise your hand in order to speak or ask a question just to show respect. We don't want you talking when other people are talking. We want you to participate, ask, answer questions, and be focused and be attentive. And then we want you to be respectful of others at all times. And also to use hand signals like raise your hand if you need help. In middle school, the grading is a little bit different. So for your core classes, that's English, social studies, science, and math, you have to get 50% of your grade comes from student mastery. So you need to pass your quizzes and your tests because that's going to be 50% of your grade. Also, 40% comes from practice. It's called student progression. So that's where you actually practice before you take a test. And then 10% is student engagement, and that is participating in your lessons. We're going to look inside of a short lesson. And this is one of my lessons from one of my classes. And so I'm going to let you just hear a little bit about the lesson. And I'm going to explain those in a few minutes. but we are going to focus on writing for the next 3 weeks before the break. And so I need for you all to think about and remember some of the things that we've done with reading, because now you will have to use those same skills for writing that we've witnessed and experienced through other authors. You're now going to have to do those in your writing for someone else to read. So, a short review. During week 2, lesson 1, we talked about author's purpose. And if you have forgotten any of these concepts that we're going to talk about today to refresh your memory, then you have still have access to these in Google Classroom, and you can go back and look at those lessons so that you remember and tell us what is all. You all can see that we make sure that you have all the skills that you need in order to be successful in your work. And we have notes that we can refer you to so that you can get that information that you may have forgotten. So we make sure that we take total care of you and we're here to support you. Now, as far as schedule, in person, your schedule might look something like the one on the left that says elementary school. And then in middle school, your schedule is going to look more like this. So in elementary school, you start school around 9:05 in the morning and you go into 3:45. Um, these things might not look exactly like this, but this is a sample schedule. And your middle school schedule is not going to look exactly like this, but this is a sample middle school schedule. And so these will require class changes, like if advisory. Once you leave advisory, you'll have to change classes to go to related arts. Remember, related arts is the same thing as special area. And then you'll have to change classes to go to English. And then you'll have to change classes to go to math. And then you'll have to change classes to go to social studies. And you'll have to change classes to go to science. So there's more transitions in middle school. And a lot of people feel like middle school is just humongous, which it is. The hallways are longer. Your 4 core classes are in 4 different classrooms, and you're on a team. And then in elementary school, you just have one class, which is your main 5th grade class. Also, another thing that's different, and a lot of students have a lot of anxiety about, is lockers. Over here in elementary school, you may have lockers with no locks on them, or you may have cubbies inside the classroom, or you may put things in your desk inside your classroom. Well, in middle school, you have lockers with combination locks. And a lot of 6th graders are really nervous and anxious about learning how to use a combination lock and learning how to navigate all the new things that you have to navigate. But again, don't worry about it. We know that you're going to be nervous and we know that you're going to need help, and we're prepared to help you when you come to middle school. I just want you to know that you got this. You're awesome. And we got you. So we are prepared and waiting for you to come to middle school. We look forward to seeing you soon. And thank you so much for paying attention to this brief message. And if you have any questions, just ask Miss Davis and she'll get in touch with me. And I'll be glad to come back and answer any of your questions about middle school. Remember, you got this. You're awesome and you're great. Have a good day.